Okay, today we're going to learn how to apply what we've learned about the area of a circle to real world situations. So we have a question here. It says the polka dots on a sweater have a diameter of 15 millimeters. If there are 48 polka dots on the sweater, how much of the sweater is covered in dots? Use 3.14 for pi. Okay, so using the formula that we used yesterday, we know that area of a circle is equal to pi times the radius to the second power, or the radius squared. And when we see radius squared, that just simply means radius times radius. Okay, so we can rewrite our formula to mean area is equal to pi times the radius once times the radius a second time. And the problem tells us to use 3.14 for pi. So the first thing we need to do is determine the radius from the problem. The problem gives us information about the diameter. It says that the diameter is 15 millimeters, but it does not give us information about the radius. We can use the diameter to find the radius. And we're going to plug it now into our formula here. So now it should, so using our division to the side, we can go ahead and take 15 and divide it by 2. And so in that, we realize that 7.5 millimeters will be equal to the radius. So now we can begin to plug the information into our formula. And so now we have pi, which is 3.14, times 7.5 times 7.5. Now we need to multiply all three of these together in order to get our area. So I'm going to start with the 7.5 times the 7.5. I'm just going to come over here to the side and multiply those two together, the two radiuses, and then I'll multiply it times 3.14. Okay, so as you can see in the multiplication, we now end up with radius times radius, which is 56.25. And so now we're going to take 56.25, or 25 hundredths, and multiply that times 3.14. And so we end up with an area of 176.625, or 176 and 625 thousandths. Okay, so going back to the problem, it did tell us that there were 48 polka dots on the sweater. So we now need to take the 176 and 625 thousandths, because that equals the area of one polka dot. Multiply that times 48 to get the area of all 48 polka dots on the sweater. Okay, so now we're going to take the 176 625 thousandths, and we're going to multiply that times 48 polka dots, because there are 48 polka dots on the sweater. So this is the area of just one of those. Okay, and so when the math is complete, we see that for 48 polka dots, the area would be 8,478 millimeters squared. Okay, now we have another application problem for the area of a circle. The problem reads, a company's logo is designed using circles of 3 different sizes. The diameters of the 2 circles are shown. Which measurement is closest to the area of the largest circle in square centimeters? So the first thing we need to do is go ahead and figure out the diameter of the larger circle. So that's the diameter of the larger circle. So all the way across the larger circle, we have 12 and we have 6, which gives us a diameter of 18. Okay, so then we can use that to find the radius, which is half of the diameter. So our radius is equal to 18 divided by 2, which is simply going to be 9. So our radius is 9 of the larger circle. Okay, so we use that in our formula. Area is equal to pi times the radius squared, or times the radius times the radius. So pi is times the radius is the area of a circle. And we're going to use 3.14 for pi. So now we have 3.14 times, we now know that our radius is 9, so 9 times 9. I'm going to go ahead and multiply my radius together. 9 times 9 I know is 81. So I'm going to multiply 81 now times 3.14 in order to determine the area of the larger circle. Okay, and so when I'm done with the calculations, I notice now that the area is 254 and 34 hundredths. 254 and 34 hundredths, which is going to be answer choice D.